Thank you for having me, and a special thanks to Ilan Manoach for sharing with me his interesting perspectives on this idea and encouraging me to give this talk about whitewash cartoonization, perhaps an accidental indexicality into cartoon space. So I'm Eyal Grus. I did my PhD in physics, unfortunately. But today I'm a code, media, text artist. I'm also a machine learning researcher, and I teach computational creativity at the Holon Institute of Technology. I want to talk to you, with you today about a wonderful accident, a glitch. So I was working on this demo. This technology is quite old now, but this is Stable Diffusion Turbo image to image. And it's a very special demo because what you're seeing was running inside my browser on my laptop. At the time, I could get 3 frames per second. Now you can do it faster. And this was using the still experimental WebNN, Web Neural Networks technology. And I had to write this code because at the time this demo did not exist in this way in the browser. And this is the result I got. Let me just explain a few words how it works. This is essentially based on the Stable Diffusion Turbo, text to image. You take a prompt like Netanyahu holding a pigeon, you put it in the model, and you get an image. Of course, you can use different seeds. So each time you will get a completely different result. And remember, this model is already quite old. Today you can get much better results. And in this case, the prompt is 100% the input to the model. You can also do text and image to image. There are various ways to do it. We take the prompt, Netanyahu holding a pigeon, and we can also condition on the initial image. This is one way to do it. And the result will combine something of the visualness and layout and style of the image and the semantics of the image and the text. So in this case, instead of holding a bomb, Netanyahu is holding a circle and a pigeon. And you can give different weights, for example, 60% to the text and maybe 40% to the initial image. Okay, now if you're a media artist, we have this very cheap weapon, the feedback loop, so we don't have to make too much media ourselves. We just take the result and put it back into the model. So we have here the same text and image prompt. We get a result, but now we can take the image result and use it as our new initial image. We can use the same text prompt, or you can change it if you want. Here I use the same, and we can do it on and get some kind of animation of some sort. Yeah, maybe it's not too interesting, but I do want to tell you about something interesting that happened on the way. So a few hours before I was able to get this result working as intended, I had this bug, which I call the whitewash bug, and it goes like this. You take the image and the text prompt, you put it in, you get the result. Now you want to put it again with the text as the new input image, but I had a bug, the whitewash bug. Accidentally, I was doing the normalization of the brightness twice, so I got a 50% brighter image each time, and I didn't know about this. I put it back in, and I got something that looks like a bit of cartoon quality. And again, I had the bug, so it gets brighter, and I put it in again, and this already looks like very interesting abstract cartoon. So something fishy but interesting was going on, and I had enough experience to know I have to save the code. I put it aside so I can come back to it and obsess about it later. But it's quite surprising, right? Because nobody said cartoon. It's not in the text prompt. I didn't ask for a cartoon. The input image is photorealistic initially, and it's not a cartoon model. It's like a generic model, um, which is not specialized for cartoons or anime. So these are some of the first experiment I had recorded. This is me and my wife on the left, and the only photograph she allows me to use. And you see, once I put on the whitewash cartoonization, it becomes a cartoon. So the prompt is a black couple. We start from this static image, and then just apply the glitch with some defined image strength. But here the glitch is always 50% too much brightness, or two times brighter. And you can see something interesting is going on. What exactly is going on, I don't know. I guess it has to do with the lossy feedback transformation. Maybe the model thinks it's uh, it's a drawing, and tries to make it look more like a drawing. It has less details, which leads to maybe to some kind of abstractification. Maybe the model thinks that the uh, background getting more and more whiter, it represents paper, so maybe it's a drawing on paper. Uh, all this is speculation. I really don't know. But I guess the lossy transformation is an important part, an essential part of this kind of glitch that I got. And you can get like very interesting and original style. Here I changed from a black couple to a white couple. And I even feel some dynamics is emerging here. Hands holding, moving closer maybe. Here I change the prompt to two very old people. So they have all these wrinkles, and the wrinkles are wonderful to turn into lines for the sketch. And again, everything you're seeing is from this one initial image and one very simple initial prompt. Here I changed it to two lizards from Mars. So I call it whitewashing, and of course, it's a political term. When people are represented in the media, there is a tendency to make them whiter, either if you choose like white actors to portray them, and in this case, actually in the cartoon, not clear why, because in the cartoon it should be quite easy to get the colors correct. So as I mentioned before, I felt that something more is going on, not just making it into a drawing, but some kind of dynamics is emerging. We saw hands reaching to touch. We see now branches growing. We've seen people turn to face one another, get closer, touch, maybe kiss. So I feel we get some kind of emergent semantic dynamics, almost narrative like of a development, and when you get it for free. Um, so there is no action in the prompt, of course, and it's actually a model seeing only one single frame in each step without any memory or concept of temporal dynamics. It's almost like it's the model is becoming not only the actor, but a creative actor. So I wanted to make this simple animation loop corresponding with the book The Giving Tree. And I had this single text prompt, actually with a typo. The tree loved the boy very much. The tree loved to the boy very much, and the boy was happy. It's like in reverse from the book. And using this prompt, I was able to create this animation. This is like 23 minutes. We only see a few, the 4 first minutes I exhibited as a video work in an exhibition. And all we have here is this technique using an initial image, which is not very important, and this single prompt. And there are very few parameters. So there's a parameter of the strength of the image, there's a parameter, the strength of the glitch, and maybe some parameters to control the noise schedule, so it doesn't get stuck, but also doesn't change too quickly. So with a very small number of parameters, you can get these interesting and satisfying results with this kind of maybe thematic development. Maybe you can watch this for a few minutes if you're on psychedelics. And I feel that this idea of a lossy transformation inducing this emergent dynamics, maybe it's reminiscent of different regrowth processes that we have, like when we prune plants to make them grow, or when we distract bones to make them regrow. These processes were the loss actually in some kind of paradoxical way stimulates a regenerative process. So this is released as open source, and there's actually also a Colab, a Google Colab notebook that you can play with your own inputs and various parameters and use it to create offline videos like this, short animations, maybe arbitrarily long animations. And I'm actually actively working on the live version, real-time version, to both allow a more human-in-the-loop real-time editing and to be used as a VJ, live visual performance a tool. And my final advice, always save a copy of your cool bugs before you fix them. Thank you very much. The code to play with is available in this link.